heart of Obo town, where the sun kissed the earth with a golden hue every morning, there lived a woman named Olamma. She was a local bread seller known for her soft, fluffy loaves that seemed to melt in your mouth. The aroma of freshly baked bread wafted through the streets, drawing children and adults alike to her little stall. Hello, besties. Welcome to Folktales by IJ. Olamma was not just a seller, she was an artist, and her craft was her passion. She woke up every morning before dawn, her hands dusted with flour as she mixed the dough with love and care. The rhythmic kneading of the bread was a dance she had perfected over the years. Her stall was simple, a wooden table adorned with a cloth displaying her golden brown loaves, each one a testament to her hard work and dedication. Fresh bread, come get your fresh bread, Olamma would call out, her voice ringing through the bustling market. Her smile was contagious, lighting up even the gloomiest of mornings. The townsfolk loved Olamma, not only for her bread, but also for her kind heart. She would often share her loaves with those who couldn't afford them, a small gesture that left a lasting impact on the community. However, behind her cheerful demeanor, Olamma harbored a secret, a recipe passed down through generations that held the key to her success. One day, as Olamma was getting up her stall, a mysterious stranger strolled into town. He was tall and lean, dressed in a long coat that flapped in the wind, his eyes sharp and piercing, scanned the market as if searching for something. Olamma couldn't shake off the feeling that he was watching her. "Good morning, madam," he said, approaching her stall. "What's the secret to your delicious bread?" Olamma smiled politely, but felt uneasy. "Just a little love and the right ingredients," she replied, trying to maintain her composure. The stranger chuckled softly. "Love, you say? There must be more to it than that." He leaned closer, his eyes glinting with curiosity. "I am a traveling baker, and I have never tasted anything like it. May I have a loaf?" Olamma handed him a loaf, her heart racing. The man took a bite, his expression shifting from curiosity to surprise. "This is incredible. You have a gift, I said it." "Olamma, tell me, how did you learn to bake like this?" She hesitated, the weight of her family's tradition hanging heavily on her shoulders. "It's a family recipe," she finally admitted, "passed down from my grandmother." "Interesting," he said, a sly smile creeping onto his face. "Perhaps you could teach me." The stranger, who introduced himself as Kofi, returned to Olamma's stall every day, engaging her in conversation while savoring her bread. As days turned into weeks, Olamma began to feel a strange connection with him. Kofi was charming, witty, and incredibly knowledgeable about baking. He often shared stories of his travels, captivating Olamma with tales of distant lands and exotic flavors. One afternoon, as the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the market, Kofi leaned against the stall, his expression turning serious. "Olamma, I see great potential in you. Your bread could be famous beyond this town. Why not expand? Let's open a bakery together in the city. Get married together, something like that." Olamma was taken aback. "A bakery? But this is my home. I can't leave my people. I can't leave my customers." Kofi nodded, understanding her hesitation. "I know it's a big decision, but think about the lives you could change. You have a gift that deserves to be shared with the world. Imagine your bread in every corner of the city." The idea lingered in Olamma's mind, but fear held her back. She had never imagined her humble bread would become something greater, not anywhere. But Kofi's words sparked a flicker of ambition within her. As their partnership and friendship blossomed, Kofi became more involved in Olamma's life. He would help her bake in the early hours of the morning, and together they would experiment with new recipes, infusing modern twists into her traditional bread. The results were astonishing, amazing, and soon people from neighboring towns began flocking to Ogbo town just to test Olama's creations. However, with success came scrutiny. One evening, as they were closing up the stall, Olama noticed a group of women whispering and pointing at her. Among them was Mama Nkechi, the town's most respected baker, who had always viewed Olama as a rival. Mama Nkechi is jealous, Kofi said dismissively. You're the talk of the town now, and she can't seem to handle it. Olama felt uneasy. I respect her, Kofi. She has been baking for longer than I have been alive. But Kofi waved his hand dismissively. Forget her. You need to focus on your future. Speaking of which, he reached into his pocket and pulled out an ornate box. I've been keeping something for you. Curiosity piqued. Olama opened the box to reveal a beautiful golden key. What's this for? It's a key to our new beginning. Let's get married. I found a small bakery in the city. With this, we can start our dream. Olama's heart raced, but deep down, a sense of dread began to creep in. What if I'm not ready? Kofi smiled reassuringly. You are more than ready, Olama. Trust me. That night, Olama lay awake, tossing and turning as the weight of her decision pressed down on her. Should she leave everything she had ever known for an uncertain future? The thought of stepping into the unknown terrified her. Yet, the dream of expanding her bread business was tantalizing. The next day, Olama made her choices. She approached her loyal customers who had supported her for years and shared this new plan. To her surprise, they rallied around her, offering the encouragement and best wishes. They blessed her new idea. With their blessings, she felt emboldened to take this leap on with Kofi. A week later, Olama and Kofi stood in the small bakery, their dream finally coming to life. The scent of fresh bread enveloped the space, and the walls were adorned in their new city with folktales of Ogbo town, a reminder of where it all began. But as they began to settle into their new life in the city, Olama couldn't shake off the feeling that something was off. Kofi seemed preoccupied always, often stepping out to take calls, leaving Olama alone in the bakery. She brushed off her concerns, focusing on her bread and the growing popularity of their bakery. One evening, after a long day of baking, Olama decided to surprise Kofi with a special dinner. As she prepared the meal, she overheard him talking on the phone. Curiosity got the better part of her, and she edged closer to eavesdrop. Everything is going according to plan, Kofi said, his voice low and conspirational. Soon, we will have everything we need to take over the market. Olama's heart sank. What was he talking about? She strained to hear more. But Kofi's voice became muffled. When he finished, he wore a cheerful mask, but Olama could see the glint of something darker in his eyes. Surprise, Olama said, forcing a smile. I made your favorite dish. Kofi's face lit up, but Olama could sense a change in his demeanor. They sat down to eat, but the warmth of the moment was overshadowed by a growing tension. Is everything okay, Kofi? Olama asked cautiously. Of course. Why wouldn't it be? He replied too quickly. Olama's intuition screamed that something was wrong. She decided to dig deeper. I heard you talking earlier. You mentioned the plan. Kofi's eyes narrowed. You shouldn't eavesdrop, Olama. It's not good for you, and it's not good for trust. I just want to understand, she insisted. What plan? He paused, his expression shifting. Fine, I'm working on expanding our reach, but it requires, certain sacrifices. But trust me, it's for the best. Days passed, and Olama's unease grew. She felt as if Kofi was hiding something significant from her. One night, unable to sleep, she decided to investigate further. She rummaged through Kofi's belongings and discovered a hidden drawer in his desk. Inside lay documents and plans outlining a scheme to undermine Mama Nkechi and take over the entire market for themselves. Her heart raced as she read the details. Kofi had been plotting to discredit the other bakers, including Mama Nkechi, and use their downfall to monopolize the market. Olamma felt a mix of anger. Betrayal. This was not the man she had come to care for. This was a stranger with ulterior motives. The very foundation of their partnership and friendship was built on lies. The next day, Olamma confronted Kofi. "We need to talk," she said, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "About what?" he replied, feigning ignorance. "I found your plans, Kofi. You were going to sabotage Mama Nkechi and the other bakers to make yourself the sole provider of the bread in the market. I trusted you." Kofi's expression shifted from feigned surprise to cold calculation. "You shouldn't have gone snooping around. I thought you were smarter than this." Olamma's heart sank. "How could you do this? We built this bakery together, and you want to destroy the others? The people in this town? That's not who you are." He laughed, a bitter, mocking sound that sent chills down her spine. "You don't understand, Olamma. This is business. The bakery world is cutthroat. If we want to succeed, we have to be willing to do whatever it takes, even if it means stepping on a few toes. We take over the city, we take over our town, we take over everywhere. This isn't right. You're turning into someone I don't recognize," Olamma said, her voice trembling. "I won't be a part of this. I will not betray my friends. I know where I'm coming from." Kofi stepped closer, his voice dropping to a threatening whisper. "You think you can just walk away? I made you who you are today. Without me, you will still be selling bread from that rickety stall in Obo town." Olamma's eyes blazed with defiance. "And I'd rather be that than be associated with your schemes. I built my success on hard work and love, not deceit." In that moment, she knew she had to choose. Olamma grabbed her things and stormed out of the bakery. Her heart heavy but resolute, she had to return to Obo town, to her roots where she was valued for her honesty and kindness. She left Kofi for good. As she walked through the familiar streets of Obo town, memories flooded back. The laughter of children, the smell of spices in the air, and the warm smiles of her loyal customers welcomed her. But as she approached her old stall, she noticed a gathering of people, their faces filled with concern. Mama Nkechi's stall was attacked, one woman exclaimed, her eyes wide with fear. Her bread was ruined and all her customers have left her. Olamma's heart sank. What happened? They say it was a group of masked men. They came at night and destroyed everything. Mama Nkechi is devastated, another man said, shaking his head. She has nothing again. Everything she has built has been scattered and shattered. Olamma felt a surge of rage. This was Kofi's doing. He had executed his plan, and now the innocent are suffering. Without thinking, she rushed to Mama Nkechi's stall. "Mama Nkechi," Olamma cried, finding the older woman sitting on the ground, surrounded by broken baskets and spilled flour, tears streaming down her face. "Olamma, my dear," Mama Nkechi sobbed, "I worked so hard for this, and now it's all gone." Olamma knelt beside her, feeling the weight of her heartbreak. "It's not over, Mama. We can rebuild. You taught me everything I know, and together we can come back stronger." Mama Nkechi looked up, her eyes glimmering with hope. "But how, my child? This town will not support me again. We'll hold a festival. We'll showcase the best bread from every baker in Obo town. I'll use my connections from the city to attract people. Together, we can restore your reputation, Mama." With renewed determination, Olamma and Mama Nkechi rallied the other bakers in Obo town. They organized the first ever Festival of Praise, a celebration of their craft and a chance to showcase their delicious creations to the world. Flyers were printed, and Olamma even called upon her friends from the city to help promote the event. As the day of the festival approached, the excitement buzzed through the air. The town square was transformed into a vibrant scene with colorful stalls and tables laden with breads of every kind, sweet rolls, crusty loaves, and fluffy pastries. Olamma and Mama Nkechi worked tirelessly, their camaraderie blossoming as they baked together, sharing stories and laughter amidst the flower dust. The day of the festival arrived, and the town was alive with energy. Children ran around with balloons, and families gathered to taste the best bread Obo had to offer. The aroma of baking filled the air, drawing people from neighboring towns and city who had heard about the event. Olamma stood proudly by her stall, her heart swelling as she saw the community come together. Look, Mama, people are flocking in. Mama Nkechi beamed. You did this, Olamma. You brought our town back to life. You brought my business back to life. You gave me hope again. As the sun set, painting the sky in the hues of orange and pink, a sense of victory washed over Olamma. The festival was indeed a resounding success, and the townspeople began to believe in Mama Nkechi and the other bakers once more. Just when Olamma thought things were finally looking up, Kofi reappeared, this time with a different demeanor. He was dressed sharply, his hair slicked back, and he approached Olamma with a sly smile. Back in town, I see, he said, his tone casual. Olamma's heart raced with anger and betrayal. What do you want, Kofi? I came to apologize, he said, his voice smooth as silk. I made a mistake, Olamma. I should have never pushed you to the edge. I've realized the errors of my ways. Olamma crossed her arms, her skepticism evident. And why should I believe you? I want to restore our relationship and partnership because I see the beauty of community and strength in togetherness, he replied. I also want to help you and Mama Nkechi rebuild. Her instincts screamed for her to turn away, but she saw the desperation in Kofi's eyes. Perhaps he had genuinely changed. What do you propose? He laid out a plan to collaborate with the other bakers, using his connections from the city to bring in a larger audience. Imagine this festival growing into an annual event. I can get sponsors and media coverage. Olamma hesitated, torn between her lingering feelings for him and the pain he had caused. I'll think about it, Kofi, but I won't let you take control again. Kofi nodded, an understanding passing between them. Fair enough. I just want a chance to make things right between us. Over the next few weeks, Olamma and the bakers worked hard to prepare for the next festival. Kofi kept his word, bringing in sponsors and helping to promote the event. Olamma remained very cautious, keeping a close eye on his actions while gradually allowing him to become part of the community again. As the second festival approached, Olamma felt a mix of excitement and apprehension. Would the people embrace Kofi again? Would they trust him again after what he had done? Would Kofi himself disappoint us again? The day of the festival dawned bright and clear, and Obotan was once again alive with laughter and joy. Olamma stood by her stall, her heart pounding as people began to gather. Kofi was there, working alongside her, genuinely engaging with the townsfolk. As the festival unfolded, something magical happened. The community began to heal. Olamma saw the joy on Mama Nkechi's face as she served her bread to happy customers. She saw the smiles of children enjoying treats from the other bakers. For the first time in a long while, Obo Town felt whole again. As night fell and the festivities continued, Kofi approached Olamma, looking more serious than before. I appreciate you giving me another chance, Olamma. I know I've made mistakes, but I want to help you build something beautiful here. Olamma smiled, her heart softening. I believe in second chances, Kofi, but trust is earned. Let's continue to work together, but I will not forget the past. As the festival ended, Kofi's presence began to cause rifts within the community. Some townspeople were wary of him, while others were more forgiving. Olamma found herself meditating and mediating disputes, trying to maintain peace among her friends. Then, one fateful evening, disaster struck. While closing up the bakery, Olamma received a frantic call from Mama Nkechi. Olamma, you need to come quickly. Someone has sabotaged my stall again. Olamma rushed to Mama Nkechi's stall, her heart racing. When she arrived, chaos greeted her. Flour was scattered everywhere, and several loaves were damaged beyond repair. Mama Nkechi was beside herself with grief. I knew it would happen again. They want to ruin me, Mama Nkechi wailed. Olama looked around her, instincts on high alert. Who would do this? Is it Kofi? Mama Nkechi shook her head. No, it can't be. He has been helping me. Olama felt torn between her trust in Kofi and the evidence of sabotage all around her. Suddenly, she spotted a familiar figure lurking in the shadows, a man from the market, known for his jealousy of Mama Nkechi's success. Get away from here, Olama shouted, rushing towards him. You think you can destroy us and get away with it? The man smirked, backing away slowly. This is my town too, and I won't let you take over. Olama's heart pounded. This isn't just about you. We're a community. But before she could confront him further, he dashed off into the night, disappearing down a dark alley. Olama turned back to Mama Nkechi, her resolve strengthening. We need to band together, Mama. This isn't just about us. It's about all the bakers in Obo town. In the days that followed, Olama rallied the bakers. They met regularly to discuss strategies, share their experiences, and support each other in the face of growing animosity from a few jealous individuals in the community. During a particularly heated meeting, Kofi arrived with a proposal. We should create a cooperative. That way, we can protect each other and our businesses. Together, we'll be stronger. Olama exchanged glances with the other bakers, unsure but intrigued. What do you mean by a cooperative? Pooling our resources, sharing profits, and standing together against anyone who tries to undermine us. Kofi explained passionately, we can turn our rivalry into unity. After a long discussion filled with doubts and fears, the bakers agreed to try Kofi's idea. They formed the Ogbo Bakery Cooperative, a partnership that aimed to bring them closer and protect each other's interests. As the cooperative flourished, the atmosphere in Obo town began to change. More customers returned to Mama Nkechi's stall, and the bakers' camaraderie became a source of inspiration for the community. They organized baking workshops for children, sharing their love for the craft and teaching the next generation the art of baking. However, Kofi's past still lingered like a shadow over their new beginning. Some townspeople continued to harbor resentment towards him, and rumors spread like wildfire. Olama found herself caught in the crossfire. One evening, as she was cleaning up at the bakery, a group of townspeople stormed in, their faces filled with anger. You're letting a fraud ruin our town, Olama. He's only using you to get back at us. Olama felt her blood boil. Kofi is trying to make amends. He's helping us grow stronger. You can't judge someone based on their past alone. But he's the one who brought the trouble back, one man shouted. We can't trust him. Just then, Kofi entered the bakery, his expression serious. What's going on here? The tension in the air was thick as they all turned to face him. Olama could see the fear in his eyes, but he stood tall, ready to confront the storm. With emotions running high, Olama stepped forward. Everyone, we need to talk about this calmly. We can't let anger drive us apart. We need to decide if we believe in Kofi's change or not. One of the townspeople pointed a finger at Kofi. You've caused pain and chaos. How can we trust you again? Kofi took a deep breath, clearly struggling with the weight of the accusations. I know I've made mistakes. I'm truly sorry for the pain I've caused to the community and to Olama, but I'm here to work for our community. I want to help. Just give me a chance. As silence enveloped the bakery, Olama felt her heart ache for both Kofi and the townspeople. She knew that trust was fragile and the community needed to heal. We can't move forward unless we are willing to let go of the past. Slowly, one by one, the townspeople began to speak. Some expressed their frustrations, while others offered forgiveness. As they shared their feelings, Olama could see Kofi's resolve strengthen. He listened intently, absorbing their words, and even expressed remorse for his actions. Finally, an older woman stepped forward. I remember when this town was full of laughter and love. We can't let our past mistakes keep us from rebuilding that spirit. Olama seized the moment. We can all learn from our past. If we work together, we can restore Obo Town to its former glory. Over the next few months, the Obo Bakery Cooperative flourished, and Kofi worked diligently to earn the trust of the townspeople. He proved himself by organizing community events, engaging with the local youth, and even helping those in need. Olama watched as the town slowly began to heal. The bakeries became vibrant hubs of activity, drawing in customers from near and far, from the city and worldwide. The Festival of Bread became an annual tradition celebrating unity, hard work, and love for baking. As the years passed, Kofi transformed into a respected figure in Obo, working alongside Olama and the other bakers. They built a community that thrived on support, friendship, and hard work. Olama had proven that no matter how dark the past may seem, the spirit of unity could overcome any challenge. One sunny afternoon, Olama and Kofi stood in front of their bustling bakery, reflecting on their journey. They had faced many challenges, but the strength of their bond, the love of their community had prevailed. Do you remember the day we first opened this bakery? Olama mused, her eyes shining with bright and pride. Kofi chuckled. How could I forget? I was terrified. Me too. But we've built something beautiful together, she replied, glancing around at the smiling faces of their customers. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over Obo Town, Olama knew that this was just the beginning. Their story had transformed into one of resilience, redemption, and the power of community. The bakery was more than just a place to buy bread. It was a symbol of hope and the spirit of Obo. As they closed up for the night, Olama whispered, I'm glad we came back together, and I'm glad we did it, Kofi, together. Kofi nodded his gaze, filled with admiration. Together, yes, we did it. In the end, Olama and Kofi discovered that life was about more than bread. It was about love. It was about forgiveness, friendship, and building a community that stood strong through adversity. And as they continued to bake and share their delicious bread, they knew they were nourishing not only their customers, but also the heart and the soul of Obo Town. It was such a beautiful, progressive for Kofi, Olama, and the town of the people of Obo. Did you enjoy our story today? Thank you so much for staying to the end. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we promise to keep bringing you more and more interesting African folk tales. Bye.